Hi Flosstube, Danielle here. My pronouns are she, her, and this is the first clip of my May stitching vlog, and I'm coming at you with a finish. It is currently Friday, May 3rd, and I started right after the conclusion of my last Flosstube. I started my A Very Merry Autumn Heart and Hand. Hold on. Pattern's close by. Let me grab it. It is by... No, it's a JBW Designs. Let me show you the pattern, or I should say show you the design. And you can see it actually spells out in the swirls, A Very Merry Autumn. Super cute. I picked it up at Keepsakes. It's funny, like every time I see like a squirrel or acorn pattern, I'm like, that's gonna be my pin with small. That's gonna be my pin with small. And I have a bunch now. And I had bought one a couple months ago, convinced that that was gonna be my pin with small. But then I found this one when I was at Keepsakes and decided, nope, this is gonna be the small. I bought a floss for it, mistakenly thinking that it was monochromatic. I bought this floss up here, which is a Classic Colorworks Belle Soie, in the colorway Chocolat. But then when I went to start it, I was like, oh, it's actually dichromatic, not monochromatic. So I went to my stash and I found a lighter brown to do the body of the acorn in. And yeah, I basically did this in a day. I started it around like 3 o'clock in the morning. I stitched all night, went to bed, got up, started stitching again to finish it off. Although technically, based on the like time of day, I didn't technically finish it in 1 hour or like in one day, but I finished it in under 24 hours. So pretty happy about that. Like I said, I'm gonna take this to Acorns and Threads to be fully finished. I don't know what I want though. Like I want something really cool. Some of the finishes that that were done last year, like for the Smalls exchange, were just so gorgeous and creative, I guess, also. So I need to like do some Googling about like interesting creative finishes. And also like I might just hand it to the fully finisher and be like, this is for Pinwist, I want it to be spectacular, like do a spectacular finish. Like I might just leave it up to her. But that is done. I think this is my 8th finish of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And so far this year I've been very good. I've only started, I've started 2 things that are not finished, one of which is Stitch for Pride. So, I mean, that's going to take a year no matter what I do. And the other is the Stitch Together from Stitch North. So I've been very good about like only starting small things that I finish. Haven't started anything big that will take, you know, a long time, and probably won't until my birthday, which is in, it's at the end of September. So I think I want to start a big full coverage. Well, not like big, but like medium big for my birthday. But anyway, so plans. I've been like struggling. I'm like, I don't know what I want to work on exactly. I pulled out a few options and I think I've decided that I'm going to work on my other Caroline Manning. I had hoped to use this for the round robin, but it's on 16 count and one of our participants cannot work on 16 count, only 14 count. So I had to, start a new one for the round robin. But this is Spring Lilacs, I think. It was part of a 4 chart design and I just picked one of them. So it's pretty reasonably sized. It's a little under 7,000 stitches. and I'm currently sitting at 33% done. And I just thought like this would be an easy thing until I decide. Actually, what's probably going to happen is I'll probably work on this until I go to the beach. Right now it's Friday. I leave for the beach on Monday. I don't usually take stitching with me, so I will do this until I go to the beach. And then I'm thinking about, I don't have any actual Mirabilias, but I have 2 Nora Corbett designs. So perhaps touching those for Mirabilia May. Yeah, so these are the plans right now. And I will see everybody in the next clip with some progress on this Caroline Manning. Bye. Hey everyone. Today is Monday, May 13th. And doing a little check-in here. I think I'm finally ready to go ahead and set this down. I was just gonna stitch on it until my beach trip, but I got back from the beach like today is Monday. I got back Thursday, and I actually picked it back up. It was just feeling very like soothing, very easy. The other couple things that I'm thinking about working on are not as simplistic, so I just kind of kept powering through this, but I think I'm finally ready to set it down. I added 2,166 stitches, and that brings me to 65% complete. Maybe the next time I pick it up I could finish it. That might be next May for Manning May. Next year, we shall see. This year will be a lot of Caroline Manning stitching, of course, because I'm in the round robin doing my Manning pieces with Mandy and Megan and Michelle. But yeah, so here's where I landed on Spring Lilacs. It's one of 4 small patterns from Spring Lilacs. So I am going to pick up Nora Corbett's Moon Glow for as part of Mirabilia May, and I will show you where I am with that in just a moment when I get it loaded onto a Q-snap. Be right back. So before I put it on a Q-snap, I just want to show you a full view of where I am right now. Okay, we're all loaded up onto the Q-snap, ready to go. I decided to do it in a portrait orientation because when I worked on it before, I did do it in a landscape, and if I remember right, it doesn't quite fit in the 8x11 like in landscape all the way across. And I know it doesn't fit in landscape up and down. And I felt like if I loaded it back on in landscape where this was what was available to me, I didn't have very far that I could go. But by loading it into portrait, I'm hoping to be able to get the whole plant that's on the right side done. And I think I might have even given myself enough room to do the rug or the blanket that she's on. Yeah, here's what this is what we're working with. I know I can at least get the hair done, which that was kind of bugging me that I couldn't get the hair done. Yeah, so I can get hopefully the whole plant done, the stars and stuff that are on that side, the hair. I'm pretty sure all the flowers are done except beads. And then hopefully get down to starting on the blanket. So this is where we're starting from. I think, so this is a 16 count. It's a Mystic fabric. I don't remember the name. Deep blue, something oceany. But yeah, so I'm gonna start working on this now for Mira May. And I'll see y'all in my next check-in. Bye. Hey everyone. I just wanted to quickly show you, I just recently, well, just now, changed up my pattern storage system. I had been using this binder with sheet protectors inside. But I found, like, I've been struggling with the system. I'm really good at setting up a system, y'all, but I'm not so good at, like, maintaining a system. And so to have to get a page protector, open up these rings, which are really hard, like, you know, and then, like, I was also somewhat trying to keep things in, like, by size and then by designer. So, like, if I had, you know, if it was a large pattern, it was towards the back. But if I had, like, another pattern from that designer, then I would put it, you know, together. But, like, I wasn't keeping all designers together. And so I just found that, like, I was just stuffing stuff into the binder eventually. Or, like, I would just, like, put it on top of the binder on my shelf and not, you know, not actually put stuff away. But I was watching, there's an Instagrammer that I follow. Her name is Sally, and she just recently started a Flosstube. She calls herself on Flosstube Sally Stitches and she started a Flosstube about a month ago, and she was talking about how she organizes her craft supplies, and she uses a file folder box for paper patterns. And I was like, you know what? I think that is exactly what I need to do, because it will be so much easier to just, you know, open and slide it in. So yeah, I just recently, just now tonight, put all of my paper patterns into this file box, and I think this is gonna work a lot better for me. The only thing that sucks is, like, I don't have a real good place to put this near my crafting stuff, because, like, my crafting stuff is taking up, like, a whole wall, and I don't have any more space on the wall. So I think it's gonna have to, like, live on my dining room table chair, and I'll just, like, take it out of the house when I entertain and such. But I think this is going to be a much better system for me to just be able to slide stuff into a file folder. And also, like, look how much room I have to grow in here. Like, even with them full, or, you know, with them full of all my patterns that I have, this is only taking up half of this box. The binder was legit at capacity. So yeah, just wanted to give you this little update, and I'll see y'all in the next clip. Bye. Hey everyone, it is currently Sunday, May 19th, and I am doing a little check-in because I'm going to go ahead and put down Moonglow. I worked on Moonglow for about a week and added about 1,600 stitches. When I picked it up, I needed to finish her hair. I was like, I had it to about here, so I just had to, like, finish this. I added these, which are part of, like, the tattoos or markings on her body. I had this much of this plant left to do. I had all of these stars to do. I also had the second color of stars to do over here. And then on this side, this whole plant, I only had, like, basically this blue in right here. And so first thing I did was actually do all this blue, and then I did all this green for the leaves. And then I finished the hair, did all these stars, finished the second color of stars, added these markings, and then I came over here and finished that plant. So this is actually, except for the large floral rug, blanket, whatever you want to call it, that she's sitting on, this is all the whole stitches for up here. Everything else is backstitch and beads. So the next time I work on this, I will be starting this big floral blanket that she's sitting on. I think My pattern had me at a little over 50%, like maybe 55% done with the pattern, so that's nice. The next thing I'm going to work on for Mirabilia May is my other Nora Corbett design, which this is Foxglove. So you can see I've got quite a bit of this dress done. Honestly, the dress doesn't come up too much farther, I don't think. Like, you can clearly see this is starting to be like where a waist might be, but I do still have like a little bit to do in here and like at a couple of these sides, like just there's like little ninja stitches hanging out. So, but like all these stitches are beads, like all these little empty spots are beads. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this on the Q-snap and see how far I can get. Probably I still this month need to do my Stitch for Pride drop, and I need to, it's a long story, but I get to stitch another awesome animal swap piece, which I have picked out. So there's about 12 days left in the month. I could probably give this 5 days if I want to accomplish that other stuff, but we'll see how into it I get. This is one of my oldest whips. I started it on my birthday in 2021, and besides that birthday start, which was just like a few stitches down here, the other 2 times that I've, like, everything else was done in just 2 sessions, like, you know, a couple weeks worth of work. Every time I pick this up, I get really into it. So we will see how much I get done. I will see you in the next check-in. Bye. Hey everyone. It is currently Sunday, May 26th, and I'm doing my check-in for Foxglove. I am going to set it down now. I actually worked on this like a whole extra night than I had intended. Like I said, it's May 26th, and I still have 2 goals I would like to accomplish in the next 5 days. And so that's kind of pushing it. I was gonna put this down a night or 2 ago, but I could see like this fabulous stopping point. And I was really just wanted to get, like, I had some holes like that needed to be filled in, and I just couldn't like fathom putting it down without filling in these holes. But like, I will put in a picture because I feel like without a picture you just can't appreciate how much like visual improvement there is here. But I mean, I had stuff going on that needed to be filled in like way down here. I have brought this whole thing up, and basically I have a sweepy boy here. Yeah, you're sweepy. You're a good boy. I lost my train of thought. I still had like these flower tips here, still had stitches that needed to go in them. Almost every single one needed stitches in them still, like anywhere from 1 to 5 stitches or so. Those were super annoying to do. I still had basically this whole flower here up to like, I had some of this in, but most of it I didn't have in. I didn't have this one in at all. These darker colors that you see, I hadn't put in those darker colors at all. And then basically like this whole structure right here is new. And let me grab the picture because I just want to show you, this dress is almost in the bag. And when I was working on this, the first few days I was really discouraged because I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And the past couple of times that I've worked on this, like, I've really gotten into it. But I think that like the reason I got so into it was like visual progress being made. And I wasn't feeling that as much this time. So like, just to give you an idea here, you can see right there that I started on her bust area. I wanted to get those stitches in despite it being very high up on the Q-snap, because there was just a few stitches left. Like, I had about 20 stitches of that color. And I was like, if I can get those in there, that'll be, you know, a color complete. But so you can see that is her bust right there. So right above those stitches is where the skin starts. But other than that, there's one more color in here that I haven't done. But that's it. Like, this dress is basically done, besides the beads, of course. Like, when I say done or almost done or whatever, like, the caveat is, you know, besides beads. But basically this whole skirt this whole dress is basically done. Like I said, there is just one more sort of shading color that goes, and I would have done more of that, except you can see in the bust there's a lot of that darker color. And I couldn't work up near the Q-snap like that. Also, I need to set it down to do other things. And also, like, if I was gonna move the Q-snap to work on it more, then that was just gonna be it. I don't like moving the Q-snap. So this is really exciting to me, because it means that the next time, you can even see like that little spot right there where the corner is now, that's where her hand goes. But yeah, so you can see that basically the next time I work on this, which, you know, God help me, that might be another 1.5 years. It's been about 1.5 years almost since I worked on this. I will be able to put the Q-snap up really far, because everything down here is done except beading. And then that means that I can finish the dress, start working on skin, and also on these wings. Like, the wings are exceptionally color blocky, and I think they will go quickly. And the skin isn't bad, you know, for color blocking. I think the next time it'll be kind of futzy or annoying is in the hair. But like, yeah, let me move this so that maybe we can get a better, like, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made. Yeah, like, this whole bottom now is basically done. There we go. Now there's no glare on there. So yeah, that is coming along. I added, so when I mathed, it was 2,138 stitches, but that is give or take a little bit, because there were a few stitches that I did have in, but the program, I didn't have them marked. Either, I think I've had to adjust this grid several times, and I think sometimes it loses stitches when I adjust the grid after I've already marked stitches. It can be complicated. But this is a scanned pattern, so it can be difficult to work on in regards of keeping track of the stitches when you do things like adjusting the grid. So, and then also there was a few quarter stitches, and the way that I mark those in markup is that I say that I parked a stitch. So because I say that I parked a stitch, I don't get credit for completing the stitch until I have the other quarter stitch in. So there was a few, you know, quarter stitches that I did that I didn't get credit for. So 2,138, I'd say give or take, you know, 10 stitches. Yeah, and I'm going to be putting this down, and next up is I'm going to be working on my Stitch for Pride May drop. So I will see you when I check in with that, and probably I'm hoping to knock that out in 2 days. So I will check in with you guys soon. Bye. Hey everyone. It is currently Saturday, June 1st. So this is my last check-in for my May vlog. I finished well, I did 2 things since I last checked in, because I totally finished this and just like put it away and was like, oh, I forgot to film my check-in. So this is my May drop for Stitch for Pride. And this month, I don't want to try to pronounce her name because I'm gonna butcher it. But the artist that we learned about, I feel like maybe at least the first name is Yishay. She is a Jewish photographer and like installation artist, and her work focuses mainly on generational trauma. I don't know why my camera is like ping-ponging back and forth between cool and warm. But generational trauma, specifically sort of focusing around whatchamacallit, borders, and how like both social construct borders and physical land borders, and how sort of government uses those borders to like manipulate people into fearing people beyond borders. And I feel like it's super important for us to like realize that you know, dividing us is how they conquer us, you know. But also she's been very like outspoken and has done work around her transition and her life as a trans woman. And so Dee charted one of her installations had barbed wire, and so Dee charted this barbed wire for us, and I used Bestitch Me in the colorway Artemis to stitch it. And yeah, I think I may just go back and put in the cap in red. As much as I want a green cap, I just cannot make myself like break away from every motif being monochromatic. So I think I did make the decision about the cap. But yeah, it's looking really, really good. There's a wider shot of the whole thing. I'm really happy with it. So then the next thing that I accomplished since I checked in was I got my little, this is for the Awesome Animal Swap, because I had stitched the squirrel, but then I had to get reassigned, and this person specifically, specifically mentioned cats. And I went actually through my pattern stash and realized that I had this cat from, this is Wild Violet Cross Stitch, and it's called Moonlight Cat. And I realized that I was like, oh, this will be perfect. And the person who I'm stitching for indicated that they like dark blues and purples and indigos. And so I had this beautiful blue floss from Live and Die LA called The Deep, and I had this, you know, I call it a scrap, but it's still a lot of fabric, from Jessie of Mislaid Pages in purples and blues. And then the yellow is a Kreinik silk, and the black is also a silk. Actually, it's from Stitchy Box called Bat Orchid. But yeah, so I finished this, and then I have a little finishing board from Starry Night Studios that I'm going to mount this on. So yeah, I will get this fully finished so that I can pop it in the mail soon. It can't be mailed for another 2 weeks though, so I still have time. And as far as my May stats go, I stitched 7,881 stitches, and I stitched 28 out of 31 days, which is actually, that's the best. It's not the best number of stitches I've had, but it's the best number of days I've had. And the only days that I did not stitch were the days that I was at the beach and didn't have my stitching with me. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And now, since it's June, it's officially Pride Month, I'm going to get out my Trans Pride Tapestry and Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. And Trans Pride Tapestry, of course, is D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. And I'm going to work on those. And I also may have a new start. I have several Pride patterns that I'm interested in starting. Unfortunately, they are all big. So I just don't know if I'm excited to start something big. I do want to start something for Pride, but I don't know. But I was on Bestitching's website, and she had some ready to ship fabric, and so I bought 3 pieces. 2 of which I'm considering for one piece, and the other one I'm considering for another piece that I have. Again, I don't know if I'll start any of them, but yeah. So, all right, well, that's going to be a wrap for me. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all that stuff that the YouTube algorithm really likes. And I will see y'all in the next vlog. Bye!